call this meeting to order. This is the Town of Star Valley Ranch Planning Commission on Tuesday, September 23rd at 5:30 p.m. We do have a quorum of commissioners in attendance. Let the record also show that we have Town Clerk Hurd and Building Official Kazier in attendance as well. The first item of business on the agenda is to adopt the agenda. Could I get a motion to adopt the agenda? So moved. It's been moved by Commissioner Dalton. Can I get a second? And seconded by Commissioner Sommerfeld. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. Adopted the agenda. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the September 10th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Did everyone get a chance to look at those? Are there any changes? Didn't see anything on email, so good with those. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes from September 10th?
So moved.
And moved by Commissioner Sommerfeld and second. And Commissioner Malmoff, seconded. All in favor? All right. Thank you. Right, minutes are approved. Okay, moving on to agenda items. We have two items this evening. We have a plat amendment, lot combination for Mr. Brock, plat 15, lots 56 and 57. They're not here this evening. Everyone should have received those files. The reason on this one, if they would like to combine the lots, is if they're planning to build an accessory building. So that's the planning stage, like we're not working on the lot with existing single family home to put that building. I looked through the packet. Did anybody have any questions? It looked like everything was there, with the exception of the relinquishment of easement. We haven't actually sent those out yet. Is that right? We're getting ready to do that after we kind of give them the thumbs up that we should start the timeline tonight. So we haven't gotten to that part yet. So after this evening, if we go ahead and recommend that application to move forward, Ms. Work will go ahead and get the neighbor notifications out by the 6th of October. And there's also going to be advertisement in the paper for 14 days. So by the time you got all that up, our planning commission meeting on the 12th of November is when we would hear any public comments for reviewing your question. I just wonder, have you seen it?
No.
I don't think they probably haven't actually submitted anything until after we get done with the lot combination.
What's that?
What we plan to put on the adjacent lot, or, you know, like.
They're working on a.
Places where there's an old home, dead center of an old lot, and there's no space to put it in. Enough space.
You've got the file there, I think. Right? Sorry, yeah. I was wondering if there was just a lot layout there. I don't know if they printed in like where they think they're building it.
Yeah,
It's a site plan.
it's a pretty vacant lot right now. They have their house here. I can bring it over to you.
She usually gets it ready for me to review. I have not reviewed it.
So they're both vacant right now.
Well, there's a single family home on the
Yeah.
one, yes.
And one's vacant.
So they can go ahead with their accelerator right now.
Not
When
until,
this is amended.
yeah.
Once it's amended, yeah. If it's within the setbacks, I haven't seen all the details on it yet.
Any other? If there's any objection to the commission proposed, going ahead and move this one forward, I don't think we need to vote on that. very similar situation. This is a plat amendment, lot combination, Tillman, plat 17, lots 49 and 50. Got that out. Unfold the plat map
No
again.
problem. Actually, I think I have a smaller one here, so.
Yes.
You didn't get a copy of this?
I think when we do this in the future, like sometimes people's email will reject the attachments are like too large,
big,
you know, so just keep an eye on that. This one is off of Middle Branch. Not much more. Than the other
Yeah,
one.
it's here.
And this is the same situation, they would like to build an accessory building, and the current lot with the single family home does not provide enough space for them to do that, so we want to combine the lots so that they can do that. And I believe they're a little further along with their plans as far as the accessory building, but again, they didn't submit anything to the town until after this plat amendment was approved. And then also for this one, I didn't see anything missing other than the Silver Star. But I believe that's been sent to them, and I'm sure it'll come in. So as soon as Jamie gets it, she'll just send it out. Any questions or concerns on that one? All right, so we'll go ahead and start the clock on that one as well, and it's gonna follow the same, because both of these, I think, were received pretty much. Yeah, I guess you got both of these on around the 8th of September. So you're finding both of the applications are complete enough to move forward. We'll send out the plat amendment notification and the notification of residents. Either by the 6th of October, and then there'll be a 30-day comment period for the public hearing, along with advertisement in the newspaper. So it'll be November 12th, planning commission meeting will be, somebody will come back to these to provide a motion to approve the nomination or recommendation to the town council. Right. Moving on, we're to item 5, public comment. We have a couple of folks here. Any public comment this evening? No? All right, moving on to discussion items. First item under discussion items is ordinance 2025-07, Title 15, Land Usage, Chapter 154, Zoning. The council did read a first reading of the copy of the ordinance that was sent to the commissioners. So everything in blue on that would be what was approved for the first reading. So the second reading will be up for the council next month. And if there are any changes, additions, recommendations that the commission has, now would be the time for us to do that. You'll see for the second reading, and this is a draft of the second reading version, so it's not complete yet. The council's going to talk about it tomorrow in their work session. But you can see there's already one recommended change for the second reading, which is on, yes, number 28 on the table, the appendix A table, and that would be a recommendation to change not permitted. This is for the commercial zone. To change the not permitted to conditional for dwellings on floors above and below the ground floor. So again, if that survives through to the end of this ordinance update, it would still be a conditional use, so it would have to go through the conditional use process and come before this board, for the commission, for approval or the recommendation for approval.
I've never had anything about below ground.
Yeah, I know, and a lot of, I think, our topography and our soils and things probably wouldn't allow for that, at least in some of the facts, I have no idea out here, if that's possible. And then I know Commissioner Melmoff had some comments you sent in I just wanted to make sure I understood, if you were proposing to add this language in as well, or if these were just things you wanted to make sure were covered somewhere in the.
Yeah, just.
Okay. So, for conditional uses, community impacts. Language was for certain conditional uses, conditions around traffic, noise, lighting, hours, and we were explicitly noting, and then there were some examples of all of those. And so I was reviewing the rest of our zoning for the commercial zone, the zoning ordinance in general. And there are a few mentions in 154007 regarding issuance of conditional use permits where it says in order to recommend approval of conditional use permit, the town planning commission must find that all of the following conditions are met. The first one is the proposed use will not cause significant traffic hazard. So there are some mentions of those same things. They're not as specific as what you had, so we can certainly look at maybe tailoring those a bit more to include what we are recommending or proposing. We'll work on some of that, adding some of that language. And then if there's any other, as far as the appendix A table or any of the other language in this particular second reading version that the commission would like to see, please let us know. When do we need to have second reading posted by?
I believe it's 10 days before the 14th, so October 4th.
Okay, so we have a little bit more time. The light bulb fell off here. Just let us know and we'll work that in for the second reading. I still need to go back through it myself, but I just wanted to have a chance for us to talk about it here. And I think with something for the commission to think about is now that, we know obviously that the commercial lots here next to town hall were purchased all by the same gentleman. They have not come back to the town with any, specific plans or anything. But it, could really be an opportunity to see some development over there that is within what the town wants it to be. So again, if we see things in here that we either want to change or suddenly go, oh, you don't want to see that next door, let's just make sure we give it a good look. Okay. Any other questions on that?
Yes, what about the data centers?
Yes.
Is it data centers, like all data centers, and then also cryptocurrency and Bitcoin mining? Or is it only cryptocurrency and Bitcoin?
So, and I'm very open to changing the language. The way we added that was data centers to include cryptocurrency Bitcoin mining operations. So, to me, that was trying to exclude any kind of data center, but I don't know if that's what the commission thinks about that. Do you want to just make it specific to Bitcoin mining, or?
I was just asking because I don't want someone to read it the way that it's written and then think it's only cryptocurrency.
Right.
I don't know if we just had a comma after data centers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or data centers, I don't know, because there are a lot of data centers that are going in places.
Should we say data centers and cryptocurrency Bitcoin mining, or just a comma after data centers? You just want to make sure that both are covered, right?
Yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah. And maybe I'm overthinking it.
Well, no, we do. And the thing is, no matter how clear we think we are, someone can always read something and come away with something else, and that's where that always kind of leaves the door open for things. So if we can, better we can do to make it clear, let's do that. So we'll work on either adding a comma or just making that a little more clear.
I just was listening to a story about these things are requiring so much electricity, they're getting their own personal mini nuclear plant.
Maybe we should put nuclear plants on it.
Well, I think that.
That'd be all we need.
Water.
Yeah, oh, and for cooling, right, sure. All right, well, everyone think on this, and if there are other, changes or additions, just get those in if you can by the end of the month, and that way we can make sure we can get them worked in time. And again, there's still a third reading coming up, so this isn't the end of the road on this one yet. We just wanted to make sure we, as a town council, that we got these updates through, given that we're currently under the the moratorium on the Bitcoin mining, which will expire in December. So we just wanted to, we're gonna make this update for that. Let's make anything else we need to do as well. Okay, very good. That's that. And then move on to the fun one. The next item on the agenda is the master plan community survey. Just wanted to provide an update to everyone on that. So the survey went out by email a week ago Monday. And when I looked this afternoon, we had 147 responses, which that might not sound like a lot, but currently the town email list has 800 email addresses on it. And from what I've looked up, you know, if you get responses anywhere 10 to 20% usually in a survey, you're doing pretty good. If you get more than that, then you're doing great. I know from speaking to some of the folks that were involved with the community survey that was done in 2022 that was mailed out to every residence, they had a ridiculously high response rate to that. I want to say somewhere around 60%. I might be wrong, but we got a lot of responses back.
A lot of people were working.
Yes.
So there was a lot of your neighbor, your friends,
People
who
knew about it, right?
were
Yes.
on the committees and all that.
Right, so this is, and we talked about this master plan community survey previously in our meetings. This is kind of it repeated a lot of those questions from that mail survey from 2022, and then we added some. So I just, in looking at it today, I just pulled out a few of the charts that I thought you might find interesting. There's 35 questions in all, so there's only, I think, 8 or so here, but I just thought you might find them interesting. So the first one, everybody should have a copy. We made extra copies for the public. I think only have to make them handle. We had a general question in the beginning, sort of midway, indicate the level of satisfaction with existing community services provided by the town using the scale below, where 0 is terrible and 10 is wonderful. So all in all, with 139 answers, the average rating is 6.5. So room for improvement, but you know, we're not down in the dumps there. So that's interesting. On the next page, question 16 asked, what top 3 things do you want to see created in the town of Star Valley Ranch? What new activities, features, or amenities do you want? Please select only 3 from the list below. And running away with the prize is improved town roads with 68% of the vote. Followed by bicycle and pedestrian trails and pathways at 40%. And then there's a mix of the rest. Outdoor recreation opportunities, I think, is next. And then less regulations, 27%. So it's interesting to see how things land. And again, you know, this is only about 150 responses, but it is interesting to see how things seem to track in a particular direction. Question 17, which of the following areas do you believe needs the most improvement in the town of Star Valley Ranch? Town infrastructure and facilities has 50%. And followed by safety and security. These are really broad brush categories. And then parks and public spaces at 13%. Okay. We go through these. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about her and see if I can list your assistance in maybe looking at some of the questions and the responses and how we interpret those. Question 18, what do you believe is the most important safety issue currently facing the town? 46% speeding and unsafe driving on town roads, followed by threat of wildfire. And then there was a smorgasbord under other, which people could enumerate specific things, and I didn't put those out. Question 20, should the town of Star Valley Ranch, I put this one because should the town of Star Valley Ranch update its ordinances to allow dwelling space and accessory buildings and detached garages? And we did put a note in there that current short-term rental regulation would already prohibit rental of those spaces if they were approved. 70% say no, and then the rest are yes, they think it would be a good idea. So it seems to be a clear indication that people do not want that. The next one, what type of commercial development do you want in Star Valley Ranch? Select all that apply. And the choices we gave were medical office space, coffee shop, grocery store, or market, art gallery, gift shop, gas station, or other. And we had 42% would like to see some sort of market or grocery store, followed by 39.5% of a coffee shop. And then there's a bunch of other responses under other, so it's kind of interesting here. Gas station got 19, almost 20%. Question 23, would you support more intense commercial uses such as Bitcoin mining or light industrial? A whopping 95% say no. With 7 people or almost 5% saying yes. So I'm going to ground here with this ordinance update. And then the last couple I included, we asked for people to rate things as most not important to most important for the ranking, and it was replacement of aging water storage tanks, which over 50% to rating of 8.2, think that that's a good thing for the town to be doing. And then the last question is similar, a rating, asking people about paving town roads. Do you want chip seal or asphalt, or do you want your roads paved at all? And the average rating is 7.8%. So definitely most people are leaning toward wanting some sort of improved road surface other than gravel. Oh, and then I did include a couple of the demographic ones at the end, just for interest. One was how long have you lived in Star Valley Ranch? Over 44% of the respondents have lived here 11 years or more. And 1 to 5 years was 28.6%, and 6 to 10 years was 23%. And then the other question was, are you a year-round or seasonal resident? And 65, almost 66% were year-round, and then almost 34% were seasonal. And apparently one person answered that they don't live here. So I thought that was interesting, and then the town clerk has been helping with this. She gets all the updates every day. We get a daily report of how many people have responded to the survey. So if anyone here hasn't yet, and you would like to, please do so by the end of October 31st. I think I saw most of your email addresses.
You know, the chart that you all made, those nice charts to send out,
Why we're doing that process, yes.
What is that?
So Ms. Hurd got that all up on the website this week, and she's also working on the newsletter. So I have a write-up about that in the newsletter. We're also going to put together an email, I think, to just tell people it's there.
With that email, would you put out the survey?
I think we have been talking about that. We probably will, because the other thing we can do with the results, when it goes to the email list, when people respond, it does show their email address, right? So if people double-dip and like responses, we can probably leave those out.
But I think that the charts and everything.
Yeah, it should go back to, right? Because I don't know, if you're like me, if I get an email and something I need to act on, I usually need to do it pretty soon, otherwise it'll just disappear in the inbox and I don't get back to it. So we've also we've posted some signs with a QR code down the mail center and here at Town Hall. And then, so we're putting it in the newsletter. We're a little hesitant about putting the survey link on like the town Facebook page because then we feel like we can get people that are not necessarily residents. So we'll probably put a notice, like an ad on the Facebook page to direct people to the master plan page on the town website to get more information. But yeah, if you have any ideas on Facebook,
The radius of that.
okay.
If you did an ad, like set a specific radius that are only goes to that area.
Geofencing kind of.
Yeah, so then it would only go to the
So maybe we can figure out how to do that. Excellent. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Just making a note. I always wondered how they did that. It's beyond my capabilities, such as they are. But so the survey is going to be open until the end of October. And once that wraps up, we're able to download all the data. I can put it in a spreadsheet, but just kind of going through it, and we probably use some help with that. Figure out, do we want to divvy it up by chunks of 5 questions each or something like that, just so that one person isn't waiting for 35 questions worth of data. But we have a little time on that. And then our plan is we would like to put those results on the town website under that master plan section. The 2022 community survey results are currently on there, at least the executive summary portion is up in there. And Councilman Ellis's wife, Nancy, was very involved with the mailed out survey for 2022, and she's been working on pulling a lot of that data together from the 2022 survey that we can use at least as appendices for the master plan, but then we can also take any of that additional, more robust information apart from the executive summary and weave that into the master plan document itself too. And for anyone that hasn't looked at or hasn't kind of really scrutinized the timeline, originally, you all know I was really trying to drive to get all this master plan business done by the end of the calendar year. It's too much. And after speaking with all of you, obviously we need to make sure we get that community input, right? And a chance for the community to review the document. So stretch everything out so that the June town council meeting will be when that document hopefully will get adopted. So that gives us a good amount of time to make this year in the spring. We feel pretty confident that all the draft chapters will be posted by the end of this calendar year, and then have 4 or 5 months to refine, add, correct, whatever we need to do with the rest of the document, or before we get to the final document. It's a big chunk, but one of the biggest things from doing it in-house, and we did include this on the website, is when the town tried to go out and hire a firm to update our master plan the year before last, I think it was. The responses to the request for a proposal that we got just were not very good. They were also very expensive. I think one came in close to $100,000 and another was over $120,000. And it just, at the time, the council, when I was a new council member at the time, we just couldn't see awarding the contract to either of those two. So that's why just nothing happened with it. And so I do feel like if we were to go out again and try and get someone to update it, we would probably be looking at $100,000 or more. And for an update, I just feel like we have the expertise in the town and to do it ourselves. So I want to just start grinding away on it. We're just going to get it done. So, and I'm going to rope all of you along with me as I get it done, because that's what the Planning Commission, one of our big charters, is to do that anyway.
I think it would have been interesting in retrospect, indicate your level of satisfaction. If you'd have asked, what don't you like?
Mm-hmm. I think there's a question we asked at the end that says,
Something you would improve.
yes, what's one thing you would improve about the town? But here's another thing that to keep in mind. As we get the results from this and go through it, if we come up with things like, we really still need to know this, there's no reason we can't put another email out in the spring, another survey, right? So maybe clarify a few more points or see what we get. So, yeah, probably the questions that are going to take the most time to go through are the ones that were open text where people can, provide an answer. I've seen some pretty good ones in there already, just sort of skimming them. So anyway, any other questions about the survey? And at our next meeting, I'll give you another update on as far as responses. I think it'd be really cool if we got to at least 200 responses. We've got another over a month still, so hopefully we can kind of trickle in. They definitely slowed down after that first couple of days. It seemed like we got a whole bunch and then we didn't get so many. So, and that would be great. Commissioner Sherwood, you can help with Facebook. Okay, very good. Right, moving on, items to be turned over to town council. I don't believe we had any from this meeting. Our action items for the next meeting. Our next meeting is, it's actually before our town council meeting. So our next meeting is going to be on the 8th of October at 5:30. I would say continue to look at the ordinance for the commercial zone. If you have any you haven't gotten them in by the end of September, anything you would provide on the 8th would go into the 3rd. So, if you're forgetting anything, okay. With that then, if there's no safe grounds from anyone, let's have a motion to adjourn. Moved by Commissioner Sommerfeld, and a second. Seconded by Commissioner Dalton. All in favor?